When I look and read about you, you support so many things all the time. I saw. Let's go back. There's two things I want to talk about before I forget. Number one, you won an award for Everybody Hates Chris, NAACP, for Best Supporting.
I was nominated.
Nominated. I'm
And
sorry.
That's
I'm
as
sorry.
good as winning. That's as
yeah.
good as winning as far as I'm concerned.
Okay.
But yeah, I was nominated, and
Okay.
I came to get close to getting nominated for a film that I did called Pretty Baby with Brooke Shields back when she was 12 years old. It
Wow.
was shot in New Orleans,
Uh-huh.
and we had a campaign going because it was kind of special.
Okay.
And even going back to Starsky and Hutch, I mean, for the time that I was on screen, because I only had a limited amount of time in each show. Back then, I was one of the, per time on screen and what I was paid, I was one of the highest paid actors in the business, in a small kind of way, because that was the the nature of that. You had to make do with a certain amount of time, screen time. In fact, I didn't even do every episode, but I was paid for every episode. That was one of the good deals that my manager made at the time, that I had an all-produced contract. So which enabled me sometimes when they didn't want me in the show,
you still get
that I
paid.
still got my check.
That's good.
It's really pretty cool.
That's good. All my children.
Showed up. I have a great respect for soap opera actors. They have a technique that I had to learn, and I felt like out of water because it's kind of a special kind of way of acting.
Yeah.
And, you go in the morning, you get a script, and then you talk about it, rehearse it, and then you put it on its feet. You block it, then you take it down in the afternoon. You block for camera, and then you shoot it in the afternoon when it was going out live, or even if it was taped. Really, I learned I learned a lot, and to be on that particular one, which is one of the most popular shows, soap operas, and.
How long did you do All My Children? How many episodes?
Well,
and how long?
it's funny because I was on a will notify contract.
Okay.
I had just moved from L.A. because I wanted to raise my children back east, and I also wanted to, just get away from waiting for a phone to ring, and so I was going out and I got rolled on All My Children, and they said, well, when we need you. So I had a very loose storyline, and it went on for about a year, and then I went away for a little bit, and then they said, you know what, this season we want you to be under contract. I said, oh, that means they're going to kill me off. Because they wanted the same guy, because if I wasn't available, they would have had to get somebody else to step in the role. So in order to ensure that I was around to get my comeuppance, I got a contract, which was kind of fun, and working with Debbie Morgan and Darnell Williams.
And you were the perfect guy to be, was her name Angela?
Angela and Jesse.
To be her dad, because you guys resemble.
Well, but the thing is, I was really upset because I thought I was so young. I thought I should be playing a brother or something, not her dad. But now I'm playing grandfathers, like, and everybody hates Chris, and fathers and all that kind of things, because you gotta keep it moving, so to speak.
Yep. And you look great. I mean, you look exactly the same now as you did when you stepped out of prison on gotta get you sucker. I'm gonna get you sucker. Yeah.
Wow, she's touching on all these things, but a few pounds, a few gray hairs, and a few lines, and I always said, you know what, I'm probably going to look good in my grave too. They're going to say, oh Lord, he looks good.
We're not going to talk about that.
It's an inevitability, but because we all pass it. But what I think I do is I play these ageless characters.
Yeah.
Nobody thought about how old Huggy Bear was.
Yeah,
Nobody thought about how old the guy
dude,
was, and I'm going to get you sucker. And that's the thing, the benefit of playing character parts, I think, because we don't think about those kind of things. We think about the qualities inside.
That's right.
So I'm going to get you sucker was another milestone, working with,
Keenan
you say about,
Ivory.
saying yes and, to opportunities. When a young filmmaker comes up to me, or aspiring TV host, and, or whatever comes up to me, I have to I have to be there for you. I have to be there for you, and hopefully, we were talking a little bit about, opportunities that happen, and sometimes we get overwhelmed as people who have a lot of demands put on us, and sometimes we will, shun aside an opportunity because we've been overwhelmed. Yeah. And so I have a certain kind of understanding of that, but I don't want to be in anybody else's shoes but my own, and to say yes as much as possible to opportunities to serve and to inspire and to support. So when Keenan came and said, "I want you to play this part," I'm always said, hey, I suit up and show up,
Suit up and show up.
And
I like
he had
that.
to, and I take the wardrobe, I go for shoes, I do whatever it is, and I get into character. That's my job. That's my job, and I just try to do my job.
And I know we talked a little bit about your work with I'm gonna get you, sucker, and Keenan Ivory. Tell us a little bit. I know it was awesome to work with him. So just tell us a little bit about filming that with him. You filmed another film. You did another film with him too,
Don't Be a
didn't you?
Menace. Or Giving the Juice in the Hood.
Right.
I don't know. I mean, when a new director with a vision comes to me, or you come to me, and I say, I'm going to try to do whatever I can character-wise to help you be successful. I'm not going to stand on the fact that I might know more than you. I've been in the business longer than you and all those kind of things. And if you don't know how to get it out of me, then I'm not going to give it. So it was just one of those things. He wanted to pay homage to me, just like Will Smith and Chris Rock and even Snoop, who knew whose shoulders they stand on, because the guys who are sensitive to the history in the game know where they got it from. And so when they have an opportunity to do something and they reach out and say, hey, thank you, and be it a job or just saying a nod like that when we meet, that's where the goal is.
And that's a blessing, man, because I guess numerous people forget about the shoulders that they stand on, and it's such a blessing to run into real people who remember that.
Well, they've got some, young people have so much. They have to fortify themselves. I call it with brass nuts, because sometimes, if you are sensitive to everything, sometimes it might be overwhelming. But I think you lose when you're not sensitive, particularly to your history. And hopefully, when you get down the line, if you've been blessed long enough, you will say, oh, wait a minute, I didn't do this alone. I wasn't the first one. And so that's what we hope.
Yeah. Who came up with the goldfish shoes idea?
Well, that was all Keenan. It was all
really?
all on the drawing board. I like to claim, a lot of times what happens is that nobody could walk in those clothes, hopefully, the way I did. Nobody could be Antonio. That's one of the reasons why when I work in England is that, they have a lot of quotas on people and, and saying, well, if you're taking a job away from a black actor over here. But what I've got going is that nobody can be Antonio Fargas. Nope. And so I usually get an opportunity to go over there and work a lot, because if they're hiring, if they're hiring a guy and they want me, then they have to have me.
Yep.
And so
nobody else will do.
So those kind of things, and then you start getting a reputation, of a guy who does the dirty work. I don't care if it's in a car wash. I play like 3 or 4 different gay roles, because I give to the character, and I want to show the humanity in the character, and not worry about the consequences. I want anybody who's of an alternative lifestyle to be able to say, hey, I believe that he is real, or loves the character that he plays, and the pathos of the character, be it that character Lindy in Car Wash or the character Fly Guy, and I'm gonna get you, sucker. It's all the same.
Now, Car Wash is one of my favorite shows as well. I know I've seen it. 1,000 times. Your character in Car Wash. You just
my classic line. I'm more man than you'll ever be, and more
woman than you'll ever
get.
That was it. That was it. And I was like, this guy is just. I was like, wow.
Go for it. Going for it.
And even from those kind of lines to where you help the guy fix his fro. Let me help you there because you not only
Jones?
Yeah, and not only were you no, in Car Wash where you was helping him fix his
yeah,
afro.
yeah.
The fly guy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, a super fly.
Yeah.
Okay, even from doing those lines that you do to something as simple as being a friend and helping him get his afro together, you know, and it was like you really became that person.
Well, it's a matter of being, because life is a tapestry, and and a film shot is like a picture. It's just a moving picture, and every pixel, every color in the thing has got to be vivid. And if you're not holding up your end, whether you're talking, not talking, in the background, or whatever, if you think you're out of it, then you are out of it.
Yeah.
You know, you have to be totally committed. You have to be all in, as they say in poker, and that's you know that's the job of the actor.
That's what you do. Do you still keep in touch with any of those guys from?
I mean, we have a history. You know, that goes away. Some of us have passed away, but anytime we meet, I've always sort of been a person who stays to myself. So a lot of times, I think people are finding out more about me now than they did when I was sort of quote happening. You know, because I always stayed to myself. I never thought I wanted to be any place or felt I had to be at the right party or the premieres and all this other stuff. Because I'm just a soldier who wanted to have a life. Yeah. You know, be it positive or negative, but I wanted a life. Yeah. And so I have a certain kind of reserve that I'm able to share now, you know, about the journey, because they say life is what happens while you're busy making other plans, and you know, so I was making other plans and always planning and always trying to, you know, because I had a hunger, you know, a hunger to do this, and a fear which drove me to be as good as I can be. Yeah. And fear can be useful if it's, you know, if used in the right way.
That's good. Wow, Antonio. And you still are happening, whether or not you know it. You know, when I mentioned Antonio Fargas, Huggy Bear, my Corey, Carol guy, he said, Huggy Bear from the original Starsky and Hutch.
Listen, that's money in the spiritual bank. You know, when you're able to go anywhere in the world and somebody says something is because of the power of television or film or whatever. And to be able to say thank you, and to know that when I go, I mean, I've been in the movies when I've come up on the screen and there's a buzz that goes through the audience. That's humbling. That's really kind of special. Or when you hear, you know, what happened after you left the restaurant, where people whatever, you know, going through stuff and all that. You know, and I'm saying I'm just a kid from born in the Bronx, raised in New York,
11
and
brothers
one
and
of
sisters.
11 brothers and sisters. And now the oldest, because I lost 2 brothers, 3 brothers actually. So, but I'm the oldest son, and you know, and it's you know, and here I am.
How often do you all get together? How often do you get together with your?
Well, we used to have these legendary New Year's parties where everybody came, was in New York, and people talk about it. But you know, as you scatter, you know, people pass and things like that. And I still go back to the old neighborhood. My mom still lives pretty much in the same place. Okay. All these years, and you know, but in fact, I went to a high school called Fashion Industries in New York. And on May 21st, I'm going back to New York for the alumni fashion show.
Okay, I saw that.
And they are creating an Antonio Fargas scholarship in my name, and which again is humbling. And I reintroduced the alumni or the school, because when I visited New York and I went by the school, they no longer sing the school song. And I said, "Do you know if you had a school song?" And they said no. And I told them what it was, and they're going to try to reinstate that, because they want kids to know the history in the school song. And it goes like this. Okay. In the heart of old Manhattan stands a building nobly planned, vision of our time when all men work as one with heart and hand. So let us lift our voices and pledge that we will try to serve with faith and honor forever fashion high.
Woo!
Oh la la.